Very quick breaking news from South Africa. It seems like the US is moving towards implementing sanctions against the ANC-led government, or at least a number of their officials. A new US bill targets the ANC leaders with possible sanctions, and the bill was introduced by Republican Greg Stube in June of 2025. The bill slams the South African government for supporting Hamas and Iran. It also hits back at South Africa's genocide case against Israel at the International Court of Justice, and also that the ANC welcomed the Hamas delegation after the October 7th, 2023 attacks. And South Africa also signed an energy deal with Iran, angering Washington. Now, sanctions could freeze assets, block visas, and cut US aid to South Africa. This could change the South African global standing in a negative way very, very fast. Let's see where the story goes. If you want to see the full story where I discuss it in more detail, visit my primary page at Aubrey Branken. Until next time, be safe, watch your six, and stay frosty.
Africa after decolonization was more or less the forgotten continent. Western countries did not want to engage it for whatever reason. China went in. China treated every African country as brother and sister, and China really invested hugely in Africa. Now, many other countries are talking about engaging with Africa, including the United States, many European countries, India, for example. The more the better, because Africa should not be a monopoly for any other country, not for China, not for anyone else. Africa is for the African people.
America under Trump will have no time for Africa. Their only interest in Africa is that you keep your Africans at home. You saw what he said to Nigerians. I like the people of Nigeria. Many of you are very clever. You become very good professionals, but please take your professional training to Nigeria and serve your country. You are not going to see much attention given to Africa, let alone Kenya. Secondly, Trump is coming when AGOA, the African Growth Opportunity Act, is winding down in 2025. So the best that can happen is a limited extension with new conditions of duty-free, quota-free access to American market for products coming out of our EPZ zones. Otherwise, we're going to see a lot of shedding of jobs that have been sustained over the past 20 to 25 years around AGOA. Number three, America is going through a phase where 20 years ago, it supported globalization. Let people who are more efficient in labor relations produce things, and then we bring them to America while we produce the superior technology things. In the last 10 years, it went what they call nearshoring, that instead of importing parts from China and Southeast Asia, we start importing them from Mexico and Canada. And what you see, what Trump saying before he comes into office, 25% increase of tariffs on Canada and Mexico. It means that it's going beyond nearshoring. He wants production processes to be reshored inside the US. So a lot of jobs that are dependent on American markets, apart from things like coffee and so on.
Yeah, hello everyone. I am the Kenyan Explorer. And first of all, I would like to apologize for those people who have been asking me why I always put on glass when I speak, because they say that the eyes are the best communication between the people. And, you know, I don't do this because it's just a prank, but, you know, we normally use the strong lights to make this content. So sometimes you may find that we are being affected for sitting in front of this light for a very long time. So for those people who maybe feel like just you have to understand, but don't worry, today I'm doing off glasses so that we can communicate and make a good a conversation here. So I just tell you welcome back, and I appreciate you are coming. I appreciate your presence here always, because you're the one making me great. Thank you for those who are subscribing. Thank you for those who are sharing my videos, those who are commenting, who are interacting in my channel. You know, you are making me great. You are best. You are the best, because without you, there is no Kenyan Explorer. But without Kenyan Explorer, you are still you. So thank you for your time. Thank you, and continue supporting. For those who are sending me super thanks, kindly thank you very much. I appreciate your support highly. So today I just want to speak something little here about South Africa. What's going on in South Africa and America? You know, the war has never ended. The war has never ended because the quarrel has just started. And I don't know what's the problem between the America and South Africa, because I always feel like, South Africa being a largest country in Africa in economy and everything, because South Africa and Africa is the only country that has largely grow in economy and everything, in development, in infrastructure, everything. South Africa is on the top. So in this South Africa, it concludes many white people. There are many white people. There are some places, even when you go in South Africa, you may find that they are the places that only dedicated, or they're only there for the white people, and the black people are not allowed to go to these places. Like a place like Orania, popularly known in South Africa, which is for the whites only. You can go to school, you can share everything, but you cannot live in that place. So this is something that we have to deeply make an analysis, deeply speak about it, because there are some things that are happening in Africa which, when we as Africans keep quiet and maybe watch over all that's happening, then Africa is going to suffer.
So these people believe they are Africans. They live in Africa, but then they don't allow any blacks in their town. Now, I didn't even know that there's a place like this in Africa until Wodimaya went to this place. The name of this place is called Orania. It's in South Africa. Now, these people are Dutch settlers who came to South Africa in the 17th century. And according to them, they bought the land from the government. The people from this place are called Afrikaners. Now, these people have their own culture. They have their own currency. They have their own flag and everything.
You get it?
If you want to be part of this community, first of all, you have to be a white person. That is the key factor. And second of all, you have to be fluent in their language, which is the Afrikaans.
Look at my face.
And third, you have to be a Calvinist Christian, and your record has to be clean. You don't have to have any criminal record.
Our name is Afrikaners. Our language is Afrikaans. Right. So we feel part of this continent, and maybe people don't agree, but I don't have another home. Obviously I know that I have European roots.
Yeah.
400 years ago.
Yeah.
For 400 years my people have been here.
Yeah.
I love Africa. I don't want to live anyplace else. The question, why can't a black person come here, is not the right question. It's more a question like a marriage between two people. It's an exclusive affair. Doesn't mean you're against anyone else. We want to preserve our culture. We want to preserve our traditions, our faith, our language. These are the things that we want to preserve.
But someone might ask, if you want to preserve your culture, you're preserving your culture on a land that belongs to South Africans.
The land here we bought, we paid for it.
From who?
Well, at that stage we bought it from the previous owner, which was the government. Right?
But I don't think an African can leave Africa, go to Europe and say that we just bought this land and no one is allowed
African generation that comes, many years will come, they will suffer, because if we cannot make their ways today, if we cannot make Africa the best place for them today, then it means that they are going to suffer. So it is the time that we as Africans will take this chance, we take these opportunities to make sure that we clear the ways, we clear the messes, and we make sure that all that we need as Africans we achieve at this time. Because don't forget that there were some people who came and clearly and highly tried to make sure that they make Africa great, they make Africa free and independent. But they were taken down. But at least this time, we're still having the great leaders who are standing with Africa. They're ready to make sure that they fight for the Africans. They make Africa great as it was intended. But there are some people who are making these dreams not to be achieved. So we as African, we have this mandatory to make sure that all that Africa needs gets at this time. We have seen a war has been there between South Africa and Africa for a very long time. Julius Malema has been standing there to defend South Africa, but the same South Africans has never been giving him the great opportunity for him to achieve this dream, to free South Africa from the hands of oppressors like America. But the people, the person that they have been depending on, the President Ramaphosa, has been there. But this guy has never been able to make anything to happen or to change in South Africa, because the fact and the reality is that South Africa still today is being colonized. South Africa today is still living under foreign policies. Everything that's happening and going on in South Africa today, these people are still going under type policies which are not for the South Africans but for Americans. So this time round, Africa has to do something, because we have find some great Africans who are coming out, and all that they're doing is to fight for the Africa, is to make sure that they expel all imperialists, is to make sure that they make Africa to fight for, to stand for itself. When I speak about these people, I'm speaking about the leaders like Ibrahim Traore, like Assimi Goïta, the leaders of West Africa in Sahel region. I'm speaking about the leaders in different African countries who are doing so hard and are coming out boldly, fearlessly, to condemn all that is happening against the will of Africans. So before Ramaphosa went to meet President Donald Trump, there was a day on the street, he said that when he faced Donald Trump, he can tell him the truth. He can tell them all that he's doing towards South Africa to stop. But do you remember during their meeting in Oval House, what did he do? He was just there like a child, being lectured, being intimidated, but he did nothing. So we are having the kind of leaders who don't mind of all that is happening, who don't give a shit on the leaders who came and intimidate him in their land. If you can remember, I always speak about this thing when during the execution of Muammar Gaddafi, when Muammar Gaddafi was being taken by the American CIA, as he was being killed, the African leaders, the African presidents went there as they were going to stand with Muammar Gaddafi and to maybe to find something to do with him, maybe so that he can be saved. NATO ordered all the African leaders not to go in Libya, and they were ordered to return back to their countries. And 20 African head of states, they returned to their countries, and they never are allowed to go in Libya so that they can save Muammar Gaddafi. So what does this mean? We are Africans. We are Africans and we are in Africa. But some people are coming outside Africa and they dictate to us. They tell us what to do. They ordered African leaders not to go and engage with the affairs of Muammar Gaddafi as they were going to take him down. So they all bow before them and do as they were told. So if we as Africans still submitting to everything that we are being asked, if today we as Africans and all African leaders are still bowing for the former colonizers for everything that they do or they say, then it means that Africa has a big problem. At this time, 60 years plus after the African countries got their independence, but still Africans are working under the foreign policies. Africans are still doing everything that they are being asked to do, no matter how they are, whether it's good or bad. They don't want to care. As long as they were asked to do, they have to do it. So when will we continue doing this? South Africa, first of all, and now America has ordered the sanctions in South Africa. These sanctions means a lot. They were banned not to travel. They were banned in a ship. They were banned in everything. So Africans, there are some Africans who are still feeling like they are being intimidated due to this. But I don't feel if there is anything wrong for these sanctions, because these sanctions has been there. This is not the first time for South African having these sanctions. But do you want to tell me that if there is these sanctions, then Africans cannot make their life? Africans cannot continue their living. Africans cannot do anything because they have sanctions. Africans have to wake up this time and use their minds to do everything that is possible, everything that is good for them, but not for the interest of some people. So these sanctions, we always say that it's okay, and we're okay with this. I think these sanctions now, we can say that this is a time for Africans to come together and unite against an oppressive country, against any African nations. Africa should not be another Middle East where betrayal is in order to order in every day. So I think it's high time now we as Africans, we agree to everything that's happening, because this is one of the way of liberation of African countries that will help South Africa to be independent and not depend on imperialists. And indeed, it's about time for South Africans to be clear and make the world aware that we are BRICS, and we should stop American independence and stand up on our way and on our own feet. Because actually, South Africa global standing be more positive than it ever before. So this is good news, as long as the government of US has now to get out of South Africa and see if South Africa will not continue living, if South Africa will not continue being there, if South Africa will not continue for everything that they are doing today. This is an opportunity to Ramaphosa, at least now, to nationalize and strengthen the trade nations with all BRICS countries, including countries in the continent like Burkina Faso and neighboring developing countries that kicked out of the West for a very long time ago. So I don't feel if there is something today we can be worried about, because America has said they are going to sanction South Africa. They have said they are cutting relations, diplomatic relations among African countries. Then Africans are like something big has happened, So we have seen today is not something new, because the same thing has happened many years ago. Now it's all being repeated. So we have to accept all that is happening today, because this is the only way that Africa will be independent. But if we continue bowing before them and coming to beg them not to do all that they are doing in Africa, then it means that Africa still have a big problem. So just tell me what to have the comment section, because we have to speak about this. Let's meet on the comment section and not really know what you really think about what that is happening in South Africa, between South Africa and America, and what are your opinions? When you given the chance today to speak about this issue, what can you tell the world? What can you tell America? What can you say for you as you feel about this about this whole situation? Because it's high time now Africans wake up and do the necessary. Is that it's high time Africans stand on their feet tall and raise their voice and say enough is enough. All that has been going on in Africa, it's time now all has to be to stop. Because if we continue impressing former colonizers, then it means that we are burning our continent, we are destroying our continent, we are destroying our mother Africa slowly by slowly, and the coming generation will be the one who will suffer most. So don't just look on you today, just try to think of the people who will come after you, which situation and status they will find in Africa. Thank you very much for your time, Kenley. Thank you for coming up. Thank you for staying in as we do this in African way. Let's meet next time. Don't forget to come back. Thank you.